You mentioned a bit about plant physiology in particular. You were talking about photosynthesis, which is massive, huh? I mean, plants, photosynthesis, it's virtually everything. It's harvesting energy from the sun. And as you were mentioning, we know with photosynthate, plants can produce sugars, basic sugars. We know the higher the sugar, the more defense the plant can mount, or healthier the plant is. The complete proteins and all the way up to plant secondary metabolites, which
are bioflavonoids.
So are you telling me that what you guys are finding is that when you apply these flavonoids to plants, a plant secondary metabolite, you're seeing a response and an uptick of production of plant secondary metabolites within the plant that's being treated?
Yes. So in the research that we cut our teeth actually in the wine industry, so high value crop, and I guess by the understanding for the wine industry is that for them to understand how to make better wine, they measure everything. And because we were involved with the wine industry at first, we were actually able to collect a lot of data. And what we saw was some of the other polyphenols in the plants were, going through the roof. There were big spikes in things like, particularly things that make wine grapes taste better or wine taste better. So anthocyanins and things like that. And some of it, there's a defense polyphenol called resveratrol, and if I've pronounced that correctly. And those sorts of things were kicked up. And so none of those are in our product. Our product's got a group of little flavonoids, but those flavonoids, through a huge amount of experimentation, we found the right ones that trigger the others trigger the plant to synthesize more of those. So the plant then creates more flavonoids within it, or more polyphenol compounds. And as you touched on, the really important function is that of all those triggering mechanisms is that there's a kick in photosynthesis, and that's the latest research we've been doing, is looking at that result and how that photosynthesis improves. And the important thing about the photosynthesis in two ways is that photosynthesis begets more photosynthesis. It's basically, once you can start the engine running, the plant goes and figures out how to get more of it, to the point where some of the research we just did last year, we found that the plants treated with our product actually put out more stomata on the new leaves that they build. So after they've been treated with our product, as they grow new growth, they actually have more stomata, to the point of, in the trials that we did, we're looking at up to 40 and 50% more stomata on the leaves.
Which is incredible. I mean, those are power plants.
Yeah, exactly. It's like giving you a third lung and getting you to run a marathon. You can actually take in more. And so because you can take in more CO2, then the plant can create a whole volume more glucose, which is the founding chemical of it all, that comes from sunlight and air and water. And so, I think that sort of drives then the results that we see, because over the years we've always described the product as a nutrient synergist, a nutrient enhancer. And because of all that extra energy, all those sugar levels within the plant, that the plant can then form all the compounds. It takes the glucose and then forms amino acids, and it forms all the, as you say, the polyphenol compounds and the pure biomass. I find I was with a farmer one time, and I had actually visited his field when he was planting. So it's a field of dirt, and he's out there planting the seeds. It was actually onions, and I went back at the end of the season, and it was just, the field was full of all these onions. And Australians have a good sense of humour, and I said, "Wow, this is different to the last time I saw it." And he said, "Yeah, where do you reckon it came from?" so you've got this entire field full of biomass, if you want to call it that, but plant matter that came from sunlight, air and water, really, and then was able to assimilate that nutrition and form the structure of itself. So